students. Today we will start a new chapter, that is chapter 2, trees. As you know that trees plays an important role in our life. Trees are necessary for our survival as well as the ecosystem. We need trees to breathe. Okay. Without trees, life would not be possible because trees gives us oxygen, okay, which we need to breathe. So today we will start chapter 2, that is trees. Now this poem is written by Joyce Kilmer. Now Joyce Kilmer was born in 1886 and he was an American writer, poet and a generalist also. Now he is mainly remembered, okay, by for his poem. He is mainly remembered for his poem titled Trees, written in 1913, which was published in the collection Trees and Other Poems in 1914. Though his style has been criticized as lovely poem or criticized as overly sentimental and simple, his poetry has a strong sense of devotion and praise for natural beauty. Means his poetry was a strong sense of devotion and praise for natural beauty. Means he here the poet, that is Joyce Kilmer, described the beauty of nature. So chapter 2, that is trees, okay, and it is written by Joyce Kilmer. Now what the poet how the poet describing the nature through the stanza. See stanza first. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree. Now here the poet says, or the poet feels, that a poem can never be lovely as a tree. Now here the poet says that the poem is written by the poet, but it can never be lovely as a tree because the tree is made by God. Now in C second stanza, a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the sweet earth's flowing breast. Now pressed means pressed. Okay. Now here the poet says that trees get their life energy from water. Now here the poet calls the roots the mouth of the trees and says that it is pressed against Mother Earth to drink water or to receive or to get water from the earth. Means the poet says that the roots are called the mouth of the trees. Why? Because it is pressed against Mother Earth to get water or to receive water and drink, or you can say that drink water. Okay. Then third stanza, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray. Now here the poet says that leafy arms means the branches of the trees. Okay. Now the poet says that the leafy arms, or you can say the branches of the trees, are lifted towards gods. It seems that they are praying to gods. Okay. And lifted towards gods means it seems like trees are praying to gods. A tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair. Now here the poet says that birds make their nest on the branches of the trees during summer season. The trees look like they are wearing nest of birds, and it looks very beautiful when we see that there is a nest of birds on the branches of the trees, and trees seems that it seems that the trees wear a nest of birds during summer season. Okay, and it looks like girls wear flowers. Okay, wear flowers and ribbons in their hair. Miss the poet is comparing, not comparing. Actually, the poet says that it looks like that the girls wear flowers and ribbons in their hair. Okay. Now, see, robins means small birds, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Now, here the poet says that during winter season, the whole trees or the plants covered with snow. Okay, so trees get covered with snow in the winter season, and in rainy season it bath. Okay, it bath during rainy season, or the trees get wet during rainy season. In other words, the poet says that during winter season the whole plants or the trees covered with snow, and the whole trees lie in the resting position. Okay, that means stop breathing. Okay, or stop movement. Means lane means resting position. Okay, means during winter season the trees lay means lie in resting position, and who intimately lives with rain means who bath during rainy season. Okay, bath in rainy bath in rain during the rainy season. Now, next, poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. Now, here poet says that poem, writing poetry is a creative, okay, is a creative activity. The poems change the mind, or the way a person thinks and acts. Yes, the poet feels or finds that it is to be foolish task compared to God. Okay, compared to God creating a tree, means the poet want to say that poems are writing by the or poems is a creative activity. Okay, and it can change the way a person thinks and acts, but it cannot be compared, okay, with the God who made the nature. Means human beings can only create activity, but human beings can never make the nature. Okay, why? Because it is a natural beauty and it is made by God. So the poet says that we cannot compare the poem, okay, with the lovely tree that is made by God. So again, see the word meanings. Pressed means pressed. Robins means a small bird. Bosom means branches of the trees. Lane means resting position. Intimately means closely. So again, I am going to tell you the summary of this poem in short. That the poet says that the poem can never be lovely as a trees. Now, again, the poet says, or the poet calls the roots the mouth of the trees, because it pressed against Mother Earth to get water, okay, to drink water, because trees get their life energy from water. So it is pressed against earth, Mother Earth, to get water or to receive water from the earth. Okay. Then poet says that the trees are lifted towards gods. Okay. It seems that they are praying to God. Then the poet says that during summer season, the small birds, robins means small birds, make nest on the branches of the trees. and it seems like the girls wear flowers and ribbons in their hair. The poets want to say that it looks very beautiful when we see the nest of robins, means small birds. Okay, nest made by birds, small birds on the branches of the trees. It looks very beautiful. Also, the poet compared this with the girls, that the girls wear flowers and ribbons in their hair. Then the poet says that during winter season, the whole plant or the whole trees get covered with snow during winter season. Why? Because in winter season there is snowfall. Okay, and the whole trees get covered with snow, and the trees lie in a resting position because it stops showing movement or stop breathing. Okay, because it covered with the snow, and it lie in the resting position. And during winter season, the trees get bath during winter season in the rainy season. Sorry, and get bath in the rainy season. Okay, due to rain, or the trees get bath in the rainy season. Now, at last, the poet says that the poem can be made by fools like me. Okay, God, but only God can make a tree. Here, the poet says that the poems can be written by the human beings, or poems is a creative activity. Okay, so the poems are made by the fools like me, means poem can be made by the human beings, but human beings cannot make a tree. That can be made by the God only. Because so here the poet says that we cannot compare the poem with the natural beauty, because the natural beauty or the nature can be made by the God only. So in this poem, the poet is describing about the trees and says that how lovely the tree is. Why? Because it is a natural and it is made by God. Okay. So, my dear students, you please go through this chapter. Thank you.